It is Sheffield United against Spurs at Bramall Lane. With Europa League football on the line, we do need a point just to secure Europa League, with Chelsea breathing down our necks. So any slip up in this game really could cost us Europa League. So we have to just get the job done. We really do, because Chelsea are on good form. Look, I feel like I got a bit of a spring in my step today, just because I've been wanting this end of season for so long, and it is finally here. I think us as a fan base just kind of need this end of season.
Yeah, I think we keep talking about, progress, project and stuff. I think we're all ready for the next phase, I think it's fair to say.
100%. Next phase, next season.
Yeah.
Let's bring it on. But the games don't actually stop after this, because we do have Newcastle in a couple of days' time in a pre-season friendly out in Australia.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into our predicted lineup. And Ange has been speaking in a press conference. He's given us a bit of team news. So what have we got?
The only doubt, which from a player who was available on Tuesday, is Giovanni Lo Celso. Surprise, surprise. He's maybe not going to be available on the weekend. He's going to have a late test, and we'll see if he's available. Obviously, the rest of the long-term absentees, Richarlison, Basuma, Doggy, Forster, Sessegnon, Werner, Solomon and Ben Davis, all remain out for the last game of the season. So Giovanni Lo Celso, it looks like his last game for Spurs could be him being injured.
So let's get into the predicted lineup. We're going to go for a 4-3-3 formation as per usual, and obviously in goal is going to be Big Vic.
Yeah, no surprises. Sheffield United, to be fair to them, they've actually been scoring quite a few goals recently, despite obviously their poor form. So Vic might have some work to do, especially with Brereton Diaz, the form he's in. So but obviously he's going to have to start the last game of the season.
On right back, we are sticking with Pedro Porro. I think he has been going through a little bit of a dip of recent weeks, but not of recent weeks, but of the last couple of months in terms of his offensive displays. But I do think there has been signs of him maybe getting back to his best. Let's hope we can see it this week.
And I thought he had a pretty decent game against Man City, albeit he did give away that penalty late on. Doesn't look like we're going to be are we going to have a farewell for Emerson Royale, maybe? A goodbye wave, goodbye match. Don't think he'll be starting this game, but obviously Porro has to start, and I think he could be very vital for us in this game.
Right centre back, obviously going to be Cuti Romero, one of the players that have really stood up for us for the entirety of the season.
Yeah, and a lot of people giving him our player of the season, a lot of player of the season shouts for him. I think he's been pretty consistent, apart from maybe the Chelsea game. I thought he had a great game again on Tuesday as well. So he's going to have I don't think he have too difficult a game in this one, but I do expect Sheffield United to come at him a bit.
Yeah. Left centre-back is Dragusin. Really good display against Manchester City. Definitely his best in the Spurs shirt, and let's hope he can carry that on.
Yeah, and I was actually really impressed with him. He was really getting involved in a lot of the duels. He looked a lot more comfortable on the ball than he has in his previous starts as well. So Radu, I think, retains his place.
And then making up that back four on the left-hand side of the defence, as you can see, it's Mickey van der Ven. I don't think maybe his game against Man City was as impressive as that cameo performance in the previous game against Burnley, but he is coming up against Sheffield United, so maybe he can see himself get a bit more forward.
Yeah, and I'm thinking exactly. We'll have a bit more license to get forward as well. Obviously, he's fresh off the back of a call up to the Dutch squad, potentially ahead of the Euros as well. He's in the provisional squad, so hopefully a confidence boost for him as well. And just make sure he doesn't get any injuries on the last day.
In the number 6, I don't think it's going to be Sarr. I think it'll probably be Bentancur, right?
Yeah, Bentancur in the number 6, which obviously Højbjerg did play there on Tuesday, but we're thinking I don't think we're going to play 4 midfielders. I do think we're going to go back to a front 3. So one of the midfielders will have to come out, and we are thinking it is going to be Højbjerg coming out. So Bentancur playing in the number 6. Yeah,
and I actually thought Bentancur was really impressive in the game against Manchester City before he got taken off. He got taken off because of the booking and because of his inability to make challenges because of that booking, and you saw how frustrated he was. So I really hope that... and I actually could see a case of Bentancur starting in that position as well, again, in the number 8, because of how impressive he was, to be honest. I actually personally feel that he's going to go the same midfield as he played against Man City, but we're going for Bentancur and Sarr in the 6 and the 8 for argument's sake.
And Sarr, I think, has been playing quite well last couple of games as well. I think getting back to his best as well. So he's going to have to put a lot of energy into this game, but hopefully he should be able to dominate in midfield this time.
And then to make up that middle three in the number 10, James Maddison. His performances of late, last couple of games, really starting, I wouldn't say completely back to his best, but you're seeing him start to improve those performance levels for sure.
Yeah, I thought he had a pretty good game against Man City. I know some people I saw were quite disappointed, but I thought he played pretty well, and I thought he was looking back to his sharpest. I think he's created quite a few chances. I really hope he has a really good end to the season in terms of his last game, because I do think his position at the Euros is in doubt at this point, so needs a big ending, and hopefully he can push his way into that squad.
Right-hand side of the attack, we are going to go for Brennan Johnson. In my opinion, I think he's been a bit blunt of late. He's been doing a lot of running. He's been aggressive. He's been trying to take on his man. He's been winning the ball high up the pitch, but his end product has been quite frustrating.
Yeah, I think he's been kind of a lot of the time moved to the left-hand side recently. I don't think he suits that position as much. I think when he's been on the right, he's been decent. I thought on Tuesday he gave Gvardiol a difficult ride, but could have maybe done better in a few situations. But I do think he's when he plays on the right, he does look a bit better, and I'm backing him to really take the game Sheffield United on Sunday.
In the number 9 position, or should I say in the false number 9 position, we are going for Dejan Kulusevski. Really good cameo against Manchester City in the final 20 minutes, and we're backing him to cause Sheffield United some problems with that physical presence up top.
Yeah, I think this is the way we got to go in this one. I don't think there's a need to put another midfielder in there like against Man City. I think we can go a bit more offensive, and I think Kulusevski showed in that little cameo that he's capable of playing that position, and showed a different maybe option we have there, especially with his physicality, and as well we know he's got a bit more of ability to drop deep because he's played that number 10 role as well. So we're going to go with Deki as the false 9.
And then to make up that final 11, I think you can guess who we're going to put on the left wing, and that is going to be the captain, Heung-min Son.
Yeah, definitely. Who else? And again, I've been impressed with him on the left in cameo appearances. I think last 20 minutes against Liverpool, he was really good on the left. Last 20 minutes against Burnley, really good on the left. But when he started there, I still haven't seen a really good performance from him just yet, apart from maybe the Newcastle one back in December. So I want to see a good end to the season for him in that position, and hopefully, can add to his goal contribution tally, which is, still considerably high.
I feel like, though, this has been like a bit of a story of the season at times, where we've brought players on late in games, last 20 minutes, in maybe positions where they haven't been starting in, and then they have a really good performance, and then they start in that position, and then they put in a bit of a lackluster performance. I feel like this has just been a theme throughout the season.
Well, it's always going to be harder because when you're in playing late in games in certain positions, you're up against tired legs more often than not, and they give you a bit more space, gives you a bit more ability to run at them. And then when you're starting against these defenders, they're fresher, it's a lot more difficult to get that space, and maybe that's why we're seeing that.
Well, let's run through that predicted lineup with you guys one more time. It's Big, Vicario in goal, Porro right back, Van de Ven left back, Romero and Dragushin in the middle, Bentancur, Sarr and Maddison in the middle three, with Son, Brennan Johnson supporting Kulusevski up top. Score prediction?
I said 2-1. It's been the scoreline against the relegation teams at the moment for Spurs. We haven't seemed to beaten them too much by more than, albeit it is the last game of the season. Maybe Sheffield United will be a bit more offensive, let the handbrake off, because nothing to lose, might as well try and score some goals for your fans. So maybe it'll be a bit more open than I expect, but knowing Tottenham, they're always going to make it a bit difficult, so I've gone for a 2-1 win.
Yeah, I feel like Sheffield United are going to try and go out there with nothing to fear, nothing to play for. Handbrake's going to be off a little bit, and they're going to try put on a performance for their fans, and I think that that's going to leave a couple of gaps for us, and I think we can exploit that. So I think Spurs are going to put on a bit of a showing last game of the season. I think it's going to be a really good game of football, and I'm going for 3-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. So let me know your score predictions and predicted lineups in the comments section below.